Я заливаю глаза керосином. Пусть все горит, пусть все горит. На меня смотрит вся Россия. Пусть все горит, пусть все горит. Я заливаю глаза керосином. Пусть все горит, пусть все горит. На меня смотрит вся Россия. Пусть все горит, пусть все горит. Когда всего на свете, птица свой срок дождете. На улицу хватит кота, а его передняя тачка мента. Я иду по городу в черном худи. Кто-то пусть холодно свои люди. Впереди меня ничего не ждет. Знаешь, что тебя ты меня найдешь.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back. Okay, well, nobody's here yet, but welcome anyway. Oh, Lord. By the way, for those that watch this as a VOD, please remember to change your little bell thing to all, so that way you can get the actual notification when I go live or other stuff. Because I don't think YouTube does a very good job of telling anybody otherwise. So anybody that hasn't done that, I'd appreciate it if you did. I don't even care if you like, and I mean, liking and subscribing is always good or whatever, but if you are subscribed, hitting the little bell thing, yeah, it's the most important. Making the stupid little bell, like say all or whatever, the notifications or whatever. Yeah, it's so dumb that you even have to go through that extra step, but whatever. I have a feeling. I was talking the other day about I forgot who I was mentioning it to, but I was just thinking about how I bet you a lot of the people that do watch me don't even have like an actual like YouTube account. Like they're just going on it like without an account. So of course they're not gonna really know when I'm gonna be on or not gonna be on and such. It's pretty amusing. Tuesday, Tuesday, Tuesday. All things. Lord. It's been a week already and it's just Monday. It's been a Monday. It's been a Monday on my end. How about you guys? Oh wait, no one's here to answer. Never mind. Oh well. We'll just have to wait a little. So, fucking hair's getting caught blessed. Been dealing with what do you call it? Sinus issues like crazy recently. Shit's been driving me up a goddamn wall. I hate sinus pressure. It's like the worst shit. Here. It really is the worst shit. Put the entire damper on everything else. It's because it's weird. Anytime I get a little bit sick or anything, like even the mildest cold, I have to deal. Like the worst part isn't even the cold. The worst part is the post nasal drip that ends up happening for like it lasts like 2 weeks almost, and I could just feel like something in my throat, like a little lump. And it's just that it's that post nasal drip mucus bullshit. Hate it, man. It's more uncomfortable than anything else involving the cold. Any cold I get, that's what I dread. I'm just like, whenever I get sick, I'm like, great. I'm gonna have that post nasal for 2 weeks. I take stuff for it, but still, it's always kind of there. There we go. Starting to pop up. See if we can get some more. It's like count like a total of 5 or 6, and usually I start just yammering. The only reason I don't like to start too early is because then I feel like I have to repeat myself if somebody jumps on and is like, oh, what's everyone talking about? Then I have to repeat myself. And I don't mind too much, but like if I can avoid it, I'd rather do that. Just wait a little extra time. Man, I had like almost freaked out today because of some stuff going on with work and everything, and oh man, it's just the craziest headache, craziest stress, craziest turn of events, you know. Let's see here. Hey, where the hell is everybody? Oops. What did I just do? Oh, that's fine. There we go. Who's in chat now? Anybody? Let's see. I could always look. Peek in the peek and see who's in there. Kidding. I usually don't care enough to peek. But I can if I want to. Man, what the hell? It's a really slow day. Usually there'd be at least 5 people in here by now. Guess they got so used to me being late most of the time anyway. Hmm. Hmm. Should have just left it on AFK. Oh, there we go. All right, there we go. Okay, there's enough. There's enough now. Okay, so welcome. Hello, everybody. I'll say what's up in the chat if you want, or don't, or whatever. So what I want to talk about today is not just in a like general way, but kind of a schizoid specific sort of way. I want to talk about this issue of the lacking of motivation and goals and things like that. And I want to talk about it a little bit because I've come across it so many times. Obviously, I talk to, I work with, I'm friends with other schizoids and stuff like that at this point. And there's one thing that's just like a reoccurring theme over and over and over. And that theme is the one about looking out into the world and seeing like nothing motivating, nothing interesting, right? Looking at what other people have or what other people do, and at what society in many ways has to offer, and then just looking at it and going, I don't know that I want any of these things that seem to drive people forward, right? I don't know that I want any of this stuff. So what is a person like that to do, right? If you're not motivated, or you can't set up anything goal oriented if the goals or the rewards that are provided are, let's just say, not to your palate. And I think that's a common mistake that's occurring. It isn't just because the world is devoid of such things. It's just that what you generally see is going to be like what's generally promoted, what's generally discussed by most people, what's generally people ask questions about and such. What it tends to be like these goals and these motivations that just feel disjointed for you, right? You look at it, you go, why would somebody work so hard for that? That doesn't seem like it's worth it at all. Like, it doesn't seem like any of this is worth it at all. Why don't I get excited about these things that seem to make people get up in the morning and feel good about the day and be cheerful about this or that? And you're just like, I don't get it. I don't get it. Like, I don't want any of that stuff. And like some of the basic stuff I'm talking about generally is like, being motivated or excited about the weekend. Oh, the weekend is like, we're gonna, I gotta save up some money so that I can party on the weekend. Or, I have to, I'm going with my family to a theme park or something. My job, my boss at work praised me today. I feel really good about myself. Like, or, I want to work really hard so that I can show my coworkers that I'm like really cool and like I care a lot and I want to be noticed. I want to be seen by people. Like stuff like that. It's usually not very, it's not a very tasty treat, especially for the schizoid. It's nothing it's not much of a carrot that's being dangled, you know? And that's usually the argument that I keep hearing from a lot of the schizoids I talk to that just feel like, well, I don't want to advocate for myself because it doesn't matter. I don't want to work that hard because it doesn't matter. I don't want to put in that much time into something because ultimately it won't matter, because even achieving that goal makes me feel like I still feel empty after, and so on and so forth. And the longer I thought about it, and the more I kind of look back on my experience of having that feeling. I look back on it now and I go, wait a minute. Like, my, I wasn't taking into consideration how my perspective on a variety of things as being the things people do, right? The things people strive for, the things, the things weren't my things. They just weren't my things at all, right? Those weren't my things. Why was I looking there? Why was I looking in that part of, I guess, societal reality for the rewards? I was looking at those rewards, it just didn't make sense to me, and then going, oh, look, there's nothing for me. I didn't stop and think that I just don't know what I'm looking for. And had I been able to figure that out and completely disregarded all the conventional notions of what those sort of goals or motivating factors should be or ought to be based on common parameters that people have, I'm not going to be able to spot it. I'm not going to be able to notice very easily what it is that would actually motivate me. If any of that makes any sense. So, for example, a very basic one is like, oh, what motivates people to make friends, right? And you think about, especially if you're schizoid, you think about all the things that make up friendship, and you just go, I don't really want any of that, right? I don't want those obligations. I don't want that feeling of, now I have this like responsibility to this other person because they've now categorized us as friend or something like that, and all the other issues that come with it, right? But it doesn't have to be that way. That's not what a friend has to be, right? That's not what a partner has to be. That's not what a lot of things that we would just assume wouldn't provide any kind of gratification, Jesus, any gratification needs to be. It doesn't need to be conceptualized through the lens of people that you have nothing in common with, that you can't connect to. It just requires you to manufacture your own lens. And of course, that's how difficult in and of itself when you have this kind of very inconsistent sense of identity and self. That's going to make it a little tougher. But it's not impossible. It's not some impossible feat, is what I'm saying. And I know it's not because I've done it. And I have seen others do it. But it does take time. It takes probably more time than most of us want to dedicate to something like that. So, but it does function. It does work, is my point. Living through it and going from feeling like I'm just sort of living for concepts and ideas that are only in my head and I can't actionably work toward them. Yeah, that's not true. I can absolutely work toward them. You just have to kind of do it in sometimes sort of workaround fashions, or I wouldn't say subversive, but sometimes it can be. But just like really, like you have to look at the lateral sort of moves you can make that will culminate into something that actually matters to you, right? Not something that's supposed to matter, but something that matters to you in particular. And I'm talking about things that might seem incredibly, I don't know, useless or pathetic to many people, right? So, for example, maybe you just, and I always like to use this example because it's like such an important example of something that, but maybe you really care, you care about the bees, right? The bees, nobody cares about the bees, right? So then do something about the bees. And if ultimately you don't think you can stop, the extinction of the bees and all the horrors that come with that, well then do whatever you can to, you know, at least you could say that you put your foot down and did something, even if it ultimately fails. It doesn't matter. I mean, everything is finite, including your life. So I think something that's kind of unquantifiable about the human experience needs to be addressed when you're doing something like that. I think it's that level of kind of sort of seeming irrationality, and putting your faith in something, even if it's something that only you put faith into, and most people on Earth do not. That is valid and worth striving for. But the possibility of failure is not reason enough to not attempt to attain something, I think is a good way to put it. I'll give you one very good example. Look at me, right? What am I trying to do? I'm trying to advocate for schizoids. I'm trying to advocate for the notion of a form of neurodivergence that isn't recognized, which I call schizo-spectrum. I also, have other sort of more meta associated goals in my mind, right? Impossible. It would be grandiose if I wholeheartedly believe I would succeed in any capacity. In fact, I don't think I will succeed. Right? But I do believe I will try to anyway. Right? And I know the old thing about doing the same thing over and over is insane, whatever. But yeah, I don't mind that. If striving toward something seemingly impossible, but I know is attainable, but unlikely, but if striving toward that gives me a sense of meaning, more meaning than the average things that people are motivated by, and there's nothing wrong with those things, they're just not things I can be as pushed for, by. And the things that are associated to that I am pushed forward by are usually for reasons that would be pretty perplexing to the average person, right? Because I get this question all the time of how do you do it, Angst? How do you do it, bud? No one cares about this, no one's listening, no one's how do you just keep doing it? And then they'll commend me. They'll say wow, man, it's amazing you're doing it. I don't know why you're doing it, because I don't think no offense, but I don't think it's going to culminate into anything. And I don't take offense when people tell me that. I don't take offense to that at all. They're probably right. I'm fine to strive. Hey, Withers, I hope things are better, bud. You've been out of the picture for a bit. I know stuff was rough last time about work and stuff. But anyway, yeah, I'm fine to strive. Yeah, for sure. But it doesn't have to be just survival or monetary or social success. I know you love those things, Withers, but if that's not what pushes you, yeah, 5 here, 8 on YouTube, so not bad. If that's not what pushes you, then don't do it for that. Okay, for I was saying, I got derailed, but yeah, I'm trying to do something it's almost impossible, right? And even I said, even I believe I'm likely going to fail, or I'm just going to be doing this for till I can't, and then no one's going to continue it forward, and it might just fizzle out and die. But my point being, oh, my little one's going to bed. Oh, you going to bed?
Yeah.
Kiss.
But not yet.
Not yet? Not yet?
Your phone.
Oh, thank you for bringing me my phone. Can you close the door, please? Little one's crazy. But I don't care. That's I think that's my point. I don't give a shit if it's not likely I'll succeed. I don't care. I'm still gonna do it. Cause fuck it. I mean, I got as far as like meaning, like something that gives me a sense of meaning, right? There's meaning that I can get from other people now, especially like but I have like my wife and my kids, right? I get meaning from them, and I get the sense of responsibility, and I get the sense of like I want to take care of them, I want to protect them, right? That is a motivating factor in my life, right? But the meaning I'm talking about is the one that it comes out of you, right? It doesn't come from somewhere else. It comes from you. And this work I do with the streaming and the videos and the server and other stuff I want to do, if, you know, hopefully some things work out and financial stability becomes more of a thing, that gives me meaning, and that's good enough. It doesn't need to succeed. I'm going to strive to succeed, right? I'm going to do what I can to succeed. But at the end of the day, if I fail, I'm not going to regret it. You know, it's almost metaphysical in a way, right? It's this idea that I don't need to succeed. I just need to do what I can to make my dream, my thing happen. Even if it's something that most people don't give a shit about. I don't need them to give a shit about it. I would like them to give a shit about it, but I don't need them to for this to matter to me and for me to do something. And I think that's what a lot of schizoids need in their life. They need both those external motivations and those internal motivations. Now, the external ones are a little tougher, right? Because they require people, and people is not an easy thing to deal with when you still have a lot of your defenses and stuff. But at least the internal motivation can get that fire going. You just have to find the thing. What is the thing? What is your thing? It could be spiritual. It could be hedonistic. It could be, I don't know, philosophical. It could be scientific. It can be this and this and that. And you need to stop ruminating on the possibility of failure and to focus on the beauty of trying. You don't even have to be motivated. Look, I told this to another friend of mine, but I told them the work I do, it's probably not healthy, but the work I do and everything I do, it's not motivated by love. I mean, partially, to some degree, right? Especially since I think about the fact that my kids and my kids' kids might, you know, be in a similar position. I mean, sure, there's love there. There's also love in the sense of, you know, caring about the Lotganut, the fellow sufferers. So there's that, right? That's a kind of love. But my shit's driven by spite. I mean, look, my name's not Schizoid Angst for nothing, right? I might seem calm, I might seem chill. I mean, I'm pretty, like, you know, whatever, but I'm really angry a lot, like very angry. And when I didn't have somewhere to channel that anger, I would just explode internally, or I would have these, like, I didn't get crazy on anyone or anything, but I would just have, like, geez, like, just angry sort of thoughts, and I would just scream, like, internally, like, so much rage, and that's because I had nowhere to direct it. So I just think in my mind, I have to be motivated by something. Spite is something I'm filled with. So why don't I turn that spite into something productive? Why don't I turn it into a form of righteous indignation? Right? So it's the same thing with sadness, misery, right? Get your emptiness, get your depression, weaponize it. I mean, it doesn't have to be a weapon, but you know what I mean? Weaponize it. Use it as a motivator instead of a detractor. Do it anyway, is what I'm trying to say. Do it in spite of. That's why I do anything. I do it in spite of. In spite of the possibility of failure. In spite of the possibility, I don't know, things like that I don't even worry about, like mockery or disappointment. In spite of all that, I have to. What the fuck else are you gonna do? So whether it's this, whether it's another, feed the homeless, or whether it's a certain scientific breakthrough you want to work on, or it's a piece of art you're trying to develop or create, ideas you're trying to like essentially manifest into the world in some capacity or another, of any kind, as eccentric or idiosyncratic as they may possibly be, as long as it's taking into consideration a basic sense of ethics and half decent sense of morality, just strive for it, regardless of do not fear failure, and do not resign yourself to failure as a reason to not try anything or not do shit. Do shit. Just do it. Just do the shit. I mean, it's just I heard a ditty on Inner Butts today that depression is anger without enthusiasm. Ha, interesting. Yeah, use your resentment, use your spite, use your suppression. If you're gonna have it anyway, right? Use it. And that way, if you recover it, or recover from aspects of it, you would at least have found the thing. Maybe you can even do it more productively. Who knows? Right? So yeah, that's what I have to say on that matter. If anybody has questions on what I mean by this or that, or wants to elaborate, or wants to counter what I'm saying, or whatever, I don't care. You're more than welcome to jump on the Angst live stream channel on the Zoid Void server. More than welcome for that. I'll be right there. Let me see here. Yep, nobody's here yet. But if somebody wants to be, they can. It's hard, man. Like, I get it. It's hard. I have my days where I just feel like giving up on everything. I feel like just giving up. But then I remember my spite. I remember it. I remember my anger. I remember what motivates me. The unfairness of a situation that is probably not rectifiable. At least not by one person. But I'd rather just try anyway and fail than not try it ever at all. I would regret that more. I would regret never trying than trying and failing. That's how I view it. That's a far greater regret. Because you're always going to have that what if. What the fuck if it worked? But even if it didn't, I did something. I tried something. There are some hills worth dying for. They really do. They really are. This is mine. I will die for this hill. Or on this hill. Whatever. So that's stupid. But, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I don't think that there's anything wrong with putting a lot of your chips in one thing once in a while. It's the only way shit gets done. It really is. I hope you don't get fired, Withers. That would really be really unfortunate. What's the goal today? I missed it. I don't know. I don't know. What's your goal today? I don't designate your goals, Withers. I can only designate mine. I can ask about other people's. I can attempt to inspire someone else to find theirs, but that's about it. That's about all I can do. That's kind of why I want to do. There's something I do want to transition to eventually. Which is like, I know it sounds a bit silly and it sounds a bit cringe, but I feel like okay, I'm not like 100%. I have my dips. I still do with a lot of depression. I take meds, whatever. Not to get fired, I guess, or get a better job. I should just job hunt some. Yes, just do that. Go do that. You can't give a shit about that, so do it. Do you have any knowledge of comorbid personality disorder, specifically schizoid, narcissist, PD? I've watched a lot of stuff. Withers has recommended a lot of things. I can see the some of the crossover in certain departments and stuff. I see them as completely separate entities that can overlap in a variety of ways. But even when they do, it's going to be a very kind of, it's usually going to be a very sort of unusual version of narcissism. Like the narcissism is usually going to be, it's unless you're Withers, it's usually, even with Withers, it's weird. It's usually going to be something a very kind of eccentric that you're grandiose about. That you put yourself on a pedestal about, or put your self-worth on, that makes you like better than other people, or it can be like for some schizoids that have a little bit of that narcissism going on that I've talked to, they usually tend to be the ones that are misanthropic and think that that they're actually like better than people, like most people, and so the reason they stay away is because people are just not as capable, competent. They're too emotional. They're irrational. They're crazy. I'm, capable and calm. So I've seen that kind of, like those kinds of narky traits. But like I said, it's kind of like weird, like because they could be like low status of a conventional nature, right? Something a narcissist would generally be motivated by, being higher status, being more admired, more this, more that. I've seen schizoids that almost feels like their concept or their narcissism is more like fueled by how little I have to interact with people in order to sustain myself, right? Like there's like a pride there, um yeah, they almost get like I've seen it on the schizoid Reddit. They almost get like strangely defensive and elitist about it. Um, like I can imagine like like a schizoid that looks down on other schizoids, saying like, "Look, well, I figured out how to make a career out of myself, so I have enough money to like buy myself I don't know like a home in the middle of nowhere, and all they have to do is just work harder and be as smart and capable as me, and they could live their perfect schizoid paradise life." Like I can imagine that kind of a situation. But I'm not, I don't Nicola, I don't prescribe to the whole like, oh, like schizoids are just like some variation of narcissism that expresses itself through this other stuff and this and that and so on. Like I just no, no, I just don't buy it. I see too much. I see too much in schizoids that is entirely focused on the dissolution of the self, and if they are motivated, they're motivated by things that have that would give them little to no reward on like on any conventionally narcissistic fashion that I can even think of. Um, in fact, they make I would say schizoids are really good at detecting narcissists. It's really interesting. They're actually pretty damn good at like picking out like a narcissist pretty quickly. Even if they don't like really, they don't like. Let's just say they didn't do the literature, they didn't read about it, they don't really know this, but they just go that person. I don't like that person. I mean, I don't like. They might not like most people, but that person, there's something wrong. There's something scary. There's something uncomfortable. Um, about how they talk about themselves, how disingenuous or insincere some of their words are, and maybe uh, over exaggeration of their accomplishments in ways that are like really self congratulating and weird. And like I think schizoids are really, really good at noticing that. And also, I think schizoids are really good at well, I don't know if it's good or whatever, but they're really resistant to charisma. Like they're really resistant to like sort of regular forms of charisma or riz and shit like that. Like I think they would just kind of see somebody that's attractive and um you know conventionally charming and just think this person is boring. What like they're looking for substance a lot of the time. But they're looking for substance and most of the time, not every time, a lot of the time, narcissists aren't really providing substance. It's more style in many ways. And so it's uninteresting. It might be prove to be an interesting novelty for a short period, but that's about it. It gets old pretty fast. And I've worked with people like that in different jobs. And it's just right away. It's really obvious. And then I'm like, okay, I gotta make sure not to either. I have to be neutral with this person. Like, I gotta make sure I don't get on their bad side, and I don't want to be on their good side either. I just want to be essentially unnoticed by them because being noticed by them is likely going to, like, if they notice you don't notice them, that's when things get weird, especially if we're talking about the workplace. That's kind of what I'm trying to say. Like when it comes to narcissism, when you're schizoid, the only reason there might be an issue is because you don't really care about the things they do and say that normally would make other people feel charmed or interested in them, right? Because that's not what you care about. So then if they see you actively don't care or are interested in them, sometimes that can become a problem. Um, Especially if you have to see them like every day or something. So yeah, I mean, you could still hold your ground and just let them, flip their lid over the fact that you just don't care about them any more than you care about probably most people you come across in an interpersonal way. But man, they don't like that shit. Um, Meanwhile, that same thing will sometimes have the opposite effect on someone that's BPD. It's really interesting. They'll like become attracted to it. Um, until they don't. But yeah, yeah. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. But I don't even know where I was going with any of this. I kind of lost track of everything. But yeah, that's the idea. But oh yeah, what I was gonna say is I actually kind of want to start. In because I'm not licensed, I can't do therapy. I can do anything, but I am interested in possibly at some point in the near future. I want to like actively coach more. I want to coach. I want to coach schizoids that resonate with the style I have of communication, the more kind of blunt, sometimes profane way I discuss things and say things. Um, to get licensed as a like a therapist, you have to like get a like you have to go get your like a master's, dude. Like, what are you talking about? To be a licensed therapist? Yeah, it's like a lot of it's like a lot of school, man, and more debt that I can't do. I made the horrible choice of getting a master's in history. Fucking waste of time. If I would have gotten like a master's in psychology or something, I could have just like I could have already been like or something like that. I could have already been like a a therapist for schizoids or something. I don't know. Or maybe I'd need a PhD for that because it's a personality disorder. So I probably need like a PhD or something to be a therapist. Yeah, Lender is a specific period, culture, and history. Oh, yeah. Well, there's two things that I um was most fascinated by when it came to history. It would be because I'm a fucking schizo. When it comes to the way I think about things, historical theory. I really like historical theory. That's like the really that's where things get real goofy. And I like as far as actual time period or things. I'm really I'm a very much a Cold War guy. I really like Cold War espionage, intelligence, propaganda, subversion tactics, like things like that are really interesting to me. Social engineering, weird stuff. Yeah, like war effort shit, like things like that was always something that I found really really interesting. For the reasons of it's just fascinating, and two, I always had kind of like a paranoia of being subject to it, because again, as someone that's schizoid, number one priority for most of my life was autonomy, 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 and things like the state or corporations like trying to like finagle and manipulate me in these like ways that I might not notice was something that kind of always like made me a bit paranoid. And so but it was also really interesting. So yeah, yeah, it would be those. I would say those two subject matters. Like the Cold War stuff is like rot with it. That's what's so interesting to me. But yeah, yeah, proxy wars, all that kind of stuff's really, all that stuff is cool. Like the geopolitical stuff's interesting too, for sure. I could care less about like wars themselves when it comes to like knowing everything about what battles occurred where and with who and who led what and what weapons were used. Like, yeah, that's fine. That's a cool field of interest as well. But I'm not interested in that at all. I like the more abstract shit. Always, it's always where I've been at. Um, but anyway, I hope that answers it. Um, oh man, the music disappeared. Hold on. Oh, my sinuses are still fucking killing me. Like I can just feel it. I can feel the pressure. I can just feel the fucking pressure. There we go. Just a little loud. 1 second. One of the reasons I don't like complete silence is because I have tinnitus in my left ear, and that shit's annoying. It used to bother me a lot when I was a lot more neurotic and the medication wasn't doing what it's supposed to, but yeah, tinnitus is fucking annoying. Yeah, the tinnitus, yeah, it's annoying as shit. If you got some like anxiety and neuroticism with it, like oh my god, it's even worse. If you're like stressed out, it feels like it gets louder. It might just be a sensitivity because of the stress, but it's not actually getting louder. Um, but yeah, I don't know where I was gonna go with that. I like your questions though. I like when people ask like out of nowhere questions. It's really interesting. Um, you listen to the tinnitus vids on YouTube to ask it out. And did you know that the best way to stop it is to keep ears super clean out and avoid loud noises? Yeah, yeah, no, I know. I'm really bad at avoiding loud noises because I like loud music. But, um, yeah, I have like this. It's TMI, but my ears are weird in the sense that like, my mouth and my ears are weird because I don't get cavities and I don't get ear infections. right? I don't know if I've ever had an ear infection, like ever. And the reason for this isn't like, oh, I'm super magic and I have like a golden immune system. No, it's because I overproduce earwax as well as saliva. So I have to manage that. Gross. But it is something that my body does. So then I have to go get my ears cleaned out every so often. I have to get my ears cleaned out every so often, like at the clinic, because they have to like get stuff all the gunky. Because I overproduce it, and then the saliva makes it so I don't really get cavities. The problem with that is I have to be on top of it, because even if I brush every day and I floss and all that stuff, I still can start getting a lot of what is it called, tartar? Not tartar, calcified, whatever. And then I have to get like my teeth cleaned and stuff. But then they'll be like, oh, you're like, it'll mess with my gums, but then they'll be like, oh, you don't have any cavities. I'm like, yeah, I know. The overproduction of saliva basically causes that, and that's its own issue. But no cavities, I guess, no ear infections. So, it's a give and take on that one. Everyone left. They're like, gross angst. Yeah. Hey, what's up? Wait, shit, I forgot I was deafened. Hey there, Withers. Are you there? Maybe not.
Yeah, sorry, I just put it on mute to not bother you, but then I was in the chat here.
Oh, no, all good, dude. All good.
Yeah, right on, man. Yeah, the tinnitus thing, man. Like I spent like
tinnitus?
quite a bit of time looking over it. Yeah, well, that's what they call it online. I like to call it tinnitus as well. But
oh, really? Is it
everybody
supposed to be
in the
pronounced
field,
tinnitus?
Yeah, everybody in the field calls it
shit.
tinnitus. I know, right? Isn't that crazy? But there's a lot of videos on it, and they've got a lot of like sounds to mask it nowadays, like cricket
I
noise.
used to use those. I used to use those when I was like a lot more neurotic.
Yeah.
Like when my neuroticism was like a lot higher. I used to like listen to those, because otherwise like I would have trouble sleeping and stuff.
Right. So I didn't know that the tinnitus itself, or tinnitus, was actually ear damage that your brain is actually literally filling in. So like you're constantly getting a signal from your ear, and if the brain doesn't get a certain signal from a certain frequency of sound, then it will sometimes fill it in as if it's hearing it, and so that's your brain just filling in a certain frequency that's missing because your ear is damaged.
Stupid ass brain.
Yeah. But on the other, so that's why cleaning out the ears and making sure that it's getting the best signals possible helps to alleviate it, because then the brain doesn't fill in those frequencies as much. So
yeah, exactly. The more silence, the more the louder it kind of seems, right?
It can be that, but usually it's not just like silence, because true silence
is the pressure, right?
Right.
Yeah, I could see that for sure. But it's a thing. But did you know about the saliva overproduction thing?
I mean, I knew that people have various.
It fucks with your tartar stuff. But it makes it so that like you don't get. My mouth. This is gonna gross here. My mouth's very moist, and so I don't get cavities. It's having a dry mouth is what increases your your chances of getting cavities and stuff.
Yep. You might even be the same as me. I may have that as well, because I don't get cavities either, and I'm not like stupendous on the oral hygiene or whatever. I'm good at it, but I'm not like stupendous.
Yeah.
So.
But yeah, I'm a what do you call it? I like, dude, the only thing that sucks about it is I have to like change my pillowcases all the time, because I'm a fucking drooler.
Yeah,
and
you
so,
gotta
like,
fucking.
I have to have like 10 pillowcases, like at the ready, because like I have to switch it out every like 2 days or 3 days, because I just fucking wake up like anime drool, just fucking Gross.
Yeah, dude, you gotta fucking prop your head up so that your mouth.
No, it's
is
not a problem
fucking-
anymore because I'm using the CPAP again. So I'm face
Oh,
up,
okay.
and the CPAP's doing the air thing, so it
Right.
actually keeps like the moisture lower when I'm sleeping.
Right.
So yeah, it's kind of like, and I'm on my back. So yeah, it's
Yeah, on your back is a safe way, but yeah, whenever I go on my side and all, I need to prop my head up, or else I'll fucking roll
Yeah.
everywhere. Oh yeah.
Yeah. But yeah. Well, yeah, that overproduced too, man. Oh yeah, never mind. I was just reading. Tar? What about tar? Oh, black tar heroin? What?
We got that black tar up in here.
Yeah, somebody's got it. But yeah. What did you think about what I was saying before that, though? Any thoughts on that?
Talking about motivation and what have you, or
Yeah, the whole just fucking do it out of spite, even if it
right.
was-
Well, that's your personal philosophy. I myself try to stay positive.
maybe that's why you're failing.
In large part, it actually is. I need to do less. I had the burnout, and I still have the burnout. So
Maybe it's not about doing less; it's about the reasons. Maybe you gotta get angrier with her. So you gotta get angrier and more bitter.
No, it's about doing less. It really is. Like, people talk about that, man. Like, but yeah, so we had a training here about quality the other day,
Uh-huh.
and I was like, dude, like, quality is like, it's literally this that's driving me into even worse production. That's like numbers produced, you know.
Oh
or
yeah,
whatever.
I love it. I love it when your job implements stuff that's supposed to be to improve productivity, but actively destroys your productivity. It's the
Right?
best.
Yeah, exactly. And you
the
want to know
fucking
what the
best.
worst fucking thing about this
Yeah.
is, Hank?
Mm.
Back 12 years ago or so, and for all of history prior to this, the patent office where I work has been like, oh, we just can't define what patent quality is and patent examination quality is. Like, this is literally, for all of history, this has been the case, okay? This is like big 140 IQ, 130 IQ lawyers that are always at the top of the patent office, okay? That's the only people that really get hired for that position. And these are like, sort of big swinging dicks of the federal government. They're not the super hugest ones of the federal government, but they're at least upper middle big swinging dicks.
Yeah,
of the federal government, okay?
You sucked their dicks enough.
And I'm not even trying to suck their dick. I'm just saying,
I'm just saying,
these
like,
guys,
I get it. You look
like,
up
if
to them
these
all,
guys
you know.
can't figure it out, then there's obviously something that's difficult to figure out about it. Anyway, so about 12 years ago, I was like, are you fucking joking? And so anyway, I'm on this patent blog where I talk all the time with lawyers and stuff. And the big swinging dicks of the field and what have you, they're on there as well. Like, almost everybody who's anybody will be on the blog, and they'll eventually hang out there. So anyway, I tell them, I'm like, look, this is what patent quality is. I'm like, look, I'm break it down here. This is what it is. This is what it is. This is what you want. This is what it is. This is what it is. This is what it is. I put it out in basically 5 large bullet points and put a little bit of explanation in there and all this. So in about 3 years or so, finally they get around to putting that into quality training, and they're still doing this quality training to this day. And like, we had one of those this last week, and literally this is what's like causing problems now. Part of what is about half the problem. And back 12 years ago, it was okay to be like, yeah, we should probably try to do this in terms of quality. But now they're fucking stealth increasing the production requirements. Like, the actual numbers required didn't change, but the amount of work really that you need to do for a number to get one credit or whatever, basically, is fucking through the roof.
It's the same thing they do with like grocery store products.
Yeah, it's the shrinkflation, basically. You exactly understand.
Increments.
Right.
Little
And they all know that it's going on, and it's funny because, like, I was criticizing the guy that was giving the quality training there. My boss was getting upset with me. The boss knows that I'm in trouble because of production or whatever, but it's not just that. It's like, I was criticizing the guy because it's like, and he even knew it. they don't give credit at all for this quality is what it is. They don't give credit at all. They even started finally starting to give credit for it the other day, maybe about 2 years ago. They tried it for a little while. Everybody's starting to laugh at them because obviously we don't want like good boy points on the good boy score. We want actual fucking
money,
like counts. We want actual credit, right? At work.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say cash money.
Okay, well, it's the same except for it's in terms of hours instead of.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah,
well,
that's still cash money. We're still cash money.
Right. Well, I mean, we're all on salary, but I mean, you know, so yeah, but it's literally just acknowledging that you did work is the bottom line. And so the funny thing is that the guy that was doing the training, I was criticizing. I was like, look, bro, why are you playing pretend that this isn't work? And he was like, "Oh, I'm not. It is. It's work. This is work, guys. This is work." And so they tried to like finagle it around. They've finally gotten around to finagling it around to saying, "Oh, well, we only want like 10, 15 minutes worth of this quality effort. Like that's on an 8-hour per action budget and then 16-hour per case budget. So 2 points, so to speak, is 18 hours, right? And then so half of that you got to do half the case, and then half of that is you do the last half of the case. So, so bottom line, he's basically saying that they basically value quality at around $10-15 per case is what that basically translates into in terms of money.
Yeah. And
they're not going to give anything in terms of actual credit for it, at least yet anyway. So, I mean, like, the thing about it is you know, like, I don't even know if I want to bother with all this shit. Like I just told you, like, I was on the patent blogs, and it's literally kind of me that literally kind of caused this, in some ways. So,
nice.
otherwise it would just be everybody in the whole world is still ignorant about what patent quality means, which is ridiculous. But at the same time,
so you fucked yourself over?
I kind of did. I kind of fucked myself over. At the time, it wasn't foreseeable. It wasn't as foreseeable. You have to understand. Like, back in the day, it was reasonable.
That reminds me. Yeah, that reminds me of something. Like, I've had jobs where, like, I'll put too much effort into it, and like,
right, yeah,
and then I'll like be like, oh, this is not good, or this can be improved, right? And then people that I work with or something might think, oh, that's a good idea, we should do it, and then they're doing it. They're not doing it like I had said it would work. They're just doing some other version of it. Yes. And then that other version ends up causing way more problems. Yes. And it's actually helping.
Right.
And then I'm like, oh, I should have just shut the fuck up. Like,
yes, exactly.
I should have just shut the fuck up.
Exactly this, except on an institutional scale for 6,000 people. That's what happened.
Yeah, well, that's what I mean. Yeah.
And now I feel bad about the whole thing.
Yeah, because everyone. What does everyone know? You're the bastard that caused it.
No, I've told my boss now. I told him the other day, but I don't think most other people actually know. Some of the lawyers on that patent blog know, but they would only know my pseudonym. They don't know me by my real name.
I'm guessing it's a small world, right?
It is a pretty small world,
right? Patent world.
Yeah, it's about maybe 25,000 lawyers. I mean, sorry, not 25,000. Maybe like 2,500. Lawyers, maybe, and then 6,000 examiners or so. I don't know, something like that.
In the whole United States?
Yeah, in the whole United States, yeah.
Yeah. That's gonna, people are gonna see each other or meet each other.
Right, exactly, yeah. I mean, several of the lawyers know me, even though they don't know that it's me, but they can put two and two together. They're not retarded. So, yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Because that means you could be, like, bitching about stuff that you wouldn't be allowed to bitch about at work.
Well, I mean, you can also bitch on Reddit. There's a Reddit subreddit on there about the examiners, and they talk on there. But the funniest thing about all this is that I mean, like,
what's the funniest thing?
Well, is that obviously, I mean, like, yeah, if you're gonna do this, and once you know that this is quality, and you know that it's work, and you acknowledge that it's work, you got to be willing to give commensurate credit for what it is that you're asking. And everybody should know that. But it's going to take, I guess, another 10 years for them to, like, kind of, figure that out. The boomers are going to have to die off or something. I don't know. Apparently, our generation is going to have to like come across an amazing discovery that you have to give credit for work that you want done. Wow.
You should see, like, there's, like, such a mess in the type of work I do in general. It's not just, like, who I work for, but it's like the whole area of like AI stuff is
Yeah.
it's all remote, and so the infrastructure is all bananas and crazy because like
Right.
like
Ours is getting bad too. Yeah.
but like it's like so many different people uh around the world in different time zones trying to like communicate and work together
Yeah.
under the same projects, and
Right.
then there's like a chain of command, but because there's no like actual supervision like you would have in a on location place,
Right.
like where you could be like you can actually be like, oh, they're getting to the thing, where you can
Yeah.
like anybody could just say anything and say they did this or they did that and be scrambling to actually do it, and there's no one to see that that's what's happening.
Right.
And so like there's like a bunch of weird, and then also all the red tape. There's a lot. It's just the amount of bureaucracy that's required to run like
just a simple
remote
project.
only, like just remote only large scale projects is
Right.
like crazy. There's like
It's a lot.
there's like there's like the people here, and then there's QA, and then there's the lead, and then there's the team lead,
Yeah.
and then there's the lead, and then there's
Yeah.
the project lead, and then there's the the operations manager, and then you got the operations analyst, and you got
Yeah.
so it's like
No, I hear you,
literally in like stories of red tape. And so
Yeah.
so if you have like say a tech issue, man, like it takes forever for it to actually get done. Like it takes a really long time.
Yeah, I hear you.
Uh,
Yeah, the other thing that was really funny about this situation is not just that they need to like figure out that you need to give credit for work you want done.
Yeah.
Is there was shit, what was the other thing? Fuck it. It was probably the even funnier part about it. Fuck me, I can't remember offhand, but it's just another kind of a little ditty from work or whatever, those kind of things. So
Little
anyway,
ditties.
funny shit about those kind of things.
It's all right.
Yeah.
It's all good. I've already lost interest in the subject. All right.
I hear you.
So, but it's I mean, when I was talking about the goals thing, what I'm like, can somebody tell me don't be over motivated? Don't be over motivated for the wrong things. That's how I see it.
Yeah, no, that is it.
I
yeah.
can be over motivated by a lot, by certain things, and I'm perfectly dandy. But if I put too much motivation into problem solving, when it comes to like something that ultimately I just shouldn't put any energy into at all,
Right.
Because like this is the issue, like
Well, the issue is that we as Zoids do not have that inner true self to push back and to like we want to go and walk around in the sunshine or whatever. So you got to push back on the boss man and tell him fuck off. If it's not something super important, then you're not going to do it.
Well, yeah, it's that conflict avoidance. Sometimes they'll do that.
Yeah, that's
you don't want to deal with the
social
drama and
going along with social shit. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And that's what it is. I mean, like, so we require a boss that's going to not lie to us, and it fucking just says like, look, this is the most important thing. It's okay to do it. Go ahead and do it.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, that actually might have been the other funny thing about it is that it's like literally, really all you're doing is like trying to figure out what the actual important things are, and then just spending time on those. Don't spend time on the rest of the shit.
But no, but still, the actual important things, as in the important things that will ultimately allow you to actually work on things outside of work.
Yeah, things that'll get you credit basically at your job, so that you can go and fucking frolic in the sunshun or whatever.
So you can work less, hopefully. Right. But
yeah,
that should be your motivation. Is work hard on the right things, so that you have to work less as a whole, and then you can do other shit. That actually that actually matters. But like to you, but like one of the problems is this, and this happened to me multiple times. It's I have like certain like there's certain like, what's the word? Like pet peeves or like philosophical just like things that like motivate me to be like, no, this problem must be solved, this thing must be rectified.
No, I hear you. I understand.
You know,
I've
like,
got 'em as
and
well, yeah.
and I have to like stop myself, right?
Yeah.
Because I'll just go like somebody, I'll be complaining about something, like, hey, how come this? Oh, we need this fixed. We need this fixed. And then like I'll have that urge to just be like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna fix it myself.
I'm just gonna fix it myself.
I'm just
exactly,
gonna fix it
yeah.
myself. And
Yeah.
but then I have to stop myself because then I go,
Right.
wait, what the fuck are you doing? Like, does this really matter that much? Is it getting in the way of your ability to just earn your keep and go home?
Right.
Is it just like a personal
And it
vendetta?
is.
Is it like a personal vendetta you have against like some nuisance or some level, some kind of incompetence that just like it's just driving me crazy?
Right.
Or
That's
like,
why I literally posted about this quality thing on the fucking
yeah,
patent blog
but that's what I
the other
mean.
day, yeah.
And you should
Exactly.
not have done that, sir. You should have
Yeah.
shut the fuck up.
I
And,
agree.
And that's
Oh,
kind
that's
of
what it was. Hang on 1 second. So this is kind of important because it's on your topic.
all right. Make it quick.
So, all right, I will. Because
Then I lose
this is the
my
thing is, I
thoughts.
figured out that the normies,
Yeah.
probably the 130 IQ, the 140 IQ, big swinging dicks of the fucking federal government,
Yes.
were all being obscurantist. They were all obscuring what patent quality actually was.
Oh,
to
they were being
protect the
cynical.
agency.
They were being
I think.
cynical, maybe. Yeah, maybe they knew, and because they knew the problems that would come from trying
Right.
to define something. Oh my god.
Yes.
And you're
Yes.
fucking,
My dumb ass came in and just spoiled it all.
because you're like, oh no, there's a solution. Check it out, everyone.
Right.
Yeah, no,
Yes.
yeah, dude. That's something that I've talked to a lot of schizoids. That's something they it's that man, whether they're schizos, but sometimes it's that tism as well that makes you just go like, problem. I can solve problem. Fix.
And right now, I'm
And-
literally doing it again by criticizing the quality thing or whatever,
Don't-
because like
just
really what they're
don't-
doing
don't
right
bo-
now.
Don't bother.
Right, exactly. Literally, what they're doing is they're trying to obscurant their way back. And when I just said that they value it at whatever $10 per application or whatever, that's out of like $500 that I'll get per application or something. I don't know. When I say that they're doing that, it's not actually probably what they're doing. What they're actually doing is they're just trying to walk back and be like, "Look, give it to us when you can. We don't really give a fuck about it, so just leave it obscure." Is the bottom line. So, because it will otherwise it will just cause problems in the setup that they want to implement, and so I think that's what's actually occurring, and so I literally have to fucking restrain myself and just do a shitty job. It's either that or I gotta get another job.
If it bothers you that much, get another job. But if you do what the way they want you to do it, how to do it, because it's just not fucking worth it. Like, that is not something that I care enough about to and
it feels bad to do a shitty job on the daily and know that you're doing a shitty job just on purpose.
I don't feel bad. I don't feel bad at all if that's what they expect.
Yeah, but that's the thing, is that it's got to be your boss that fucking says, like, this is what we expect. And that is the hard thing to get, which I kind of halfway got out of him just the other day, which is finally that's happening. So that's good. But,
But just to tie it back, that's another thing that I notice schizoids have issues with. They're so like goal starved that they'll sometimes like put a lot of effort into shit that ultimately just causes them more problems. Like, if your job is your passion and you want to like upend the way, like, for example, if your passion is like patents, and you're like on a fucking on a scorched earth goddamn crusade to make sure patents and their importance and the quality, this is like something that's you consider like principally and ethically and philosophically important and valuable to enriching your life. I'd be like, yeah, fuck yeah, cause all the problems you can to make
Right.
sure that things improve in the patent world, if that's what you live for,
Right.
Withers. But
I agree.
if it's not,
Yeah,
what
not.
What the fuck are you doing?
Right, don't fuck with the normies. Well, now that I know that I'm a schizoid, then I understand this better. Just don't fuck with the normies. Just let the normies do
When
their
it comes
shit.
to shit you don't give a fuck about. But when it comes to shit you
Even if you give a fuck
no,
about it,
fuck with them.
think twice.
I fuck with them. I fuck with them.
Think
I don't give a
twice,
fuck.
brother. I'm just
I got a
telling you
dog
for
in me.
your own life, just think twice.
I got a dog in me. I don't care. I'll fuck with them. I'll fuck with them. I'll do it smart. I'm not
Because
not
ultimately, Angst, the reason why I say think twice is because ultimately what you end up doing is just fucking with your family, is what it is.
No, yeah,
And
yeah. But,
so
like,
it's not because the normie will
yeah.
push back on you. The normie world will throw it back on you and your family. So
yeah, it sucks. But point is, I will push back on the things that I think are most important. So like, I'm kind of glad. Maybe it's good that I don't have, you know, maybe it's good that my career isn't in therapy, because then like, I probably couldn't say half the shit I say. I probably couldn't like, you know what I mean? Like they'd be like, oh, you're being irresponsible with your, you know, professional blah blah blah. We're gonna take away your your license.
Dude, like I can't believe that people would like respect the fucking like prohibition on being a therapist without a license or whatever. Like I can't fathom that shit. Like if I want to go and be somebody's bro and give them quote unquote therapy, I'll just go and be somebody's bro and give them therapy. If they want to give me $1 for it, then they can give me a fucking $1.
Yeah, but you can't call it therapy. You could give people advice.
Call it beating your ass. I don't give a fuck.
You could coach. I can't like say, oh, I'm providing mental health services for schizoids.
Right.
It's like I can't say that. Or my server is a mental health, you know,
right.
service.
It's gonna be a support group or some shit, right?
Yeah, it has to be a support group. I have like the best I can do if I wanted people to pay me for my time is to be a coach. So like, you know, stuff like that. You have to use all these stupid words because otherwise you're putting yourself in a, you know, possibility of litigation and all kinds of fucking awesome things that you know, I don't think I want to deal with. So
yeah,
but that's what I was saying. Like, I mean, like I was thinking like my goal in life when it comes to, you know, outside of my fam is to help fucking schizoids. Like this is what I want to fucking do, and by extension also help schizo-spectrum people. And so, you know, the autists schizoids, you know, yeah, obviously they're part of that same umbrella of people. But as far as just regular autists go, they got their own champions already. They already got their shakers and movers that I like, that are not, they're not like towing the fucking horrific stuff like you know, like Autism Speaks and fucking that sort of fucked up ABA therapy. Like they're also not toting or pulling the autism community, because even the autism community like on the internet is pretty cancerous sometimes.
Really?
It's pretty gross. Yeah, it's weird. But not like autistic people on the internet, but like the community, like the ones that like think themselves like the arbiters of like, oh, you know, we are the advocates for autism, you know, things like that.
The advocating.
Yeah, I mean, it's nothing wrong with advocating, but then like they create like an in-group
right
within just even that,
Make
which
it
is really
work, yeah.
it's really weird. I'm just like, huh?
Well, I mean, I don't know. I don't think that'd probably be weird. I think that was.
You like that stupid shit. I don't.
Well, I mean, it's not that. It's just that they want a place to feel comfortable.
No, that's
and they don't
fine.
want
That
people
part's
comfortable.
fine. But I'm talking about like they'll gatekeep,
Right.
like,
yeah.
what autism is and isn't, just as badly as people in the medical field gatekeep what it is and isn't, and like all this weird stuff. It gets into some weird territories.
Oh,
like,
really?
yeah, it's really weird. It's really weird. Like I don't know how to explain it. Like,
That's fine. Yeah,
like they'll be
very
like okay, for example, was like a long time. This was a while ago. I saw it. There was like this girl that was like posting on like TikTok and stuff, and she was just like spazzing out and talking about how she loves Bluey and all this sort of stuff, right? And and she's saying she was autistic, and she was like, you know, flapping her arms and all this sort of stuff. And that's fine. I get it, stimming. I get all this stuff. But stimming's fine. You know what's not stimming? Recording yourself and putting yourself on the internet to show everybody you're stimming is not part of stimming. That's just you making a choice.
Yeah.
And the internet is cruel. It takes the piss out of everything, including you doing that. So that's kind of like what I mean. Like, that, and then you'll have the autism community like defending them like they're a protected class of like, you know, they're protected from like having the piss taken out of them because they're autistic. It's like, no. If they were out, like, I think the guy I listened to that's autistic said it himself. If they were out and about and somebody like saw them stimming and mocked them, that's fucked up. But because they're just living their life, you know. But if you're like intentionally recording it, just, you have to accept the internet's a piece of shit. It's gonna act like a piece of shit. Like, and the real lesson is you need to learn to not give a fuck. Like, not the world has to care, because they're not going to care. They'll just secretly think that instead of tell you. Like, that's the only difference. So they're going to think in their heads, wow, this person's weird, or this person's doing cringy, goofy shit. They're just gonna think it. What's the fucking difference? Just don't care. Just don't care.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't. That's what needs to be taught, is don't care. They don't matter. Who cares? There's just some piece of shit. Who cares? That's something that really, really bugs me that goes on right now. But anyway, so yeah, anybody that wants to defend people's, like, you know, like, it's almost like this kind of weird infantilization that happens, you know? So I would never want that for, like, schizoids, or in the way that, like, I talk about this or communicate this. Like, if like, I don't know, if there was like schizo-spectrum and I was like, and then they started saying like, oh, look at the fucking schizo, oh, hey, who killed JFK, you fucking schizo, you know, like, if they said that to me, I just fucking laugh. I'd be like, I don't know, man, your mom, like, you know what I mean? Your mom was on the fucking...
Lee Harvey Oswald, wasn't
No.
it Oswald, I believe?
Really, Withers? You're going with their story?
I'm going with the story, bro.
Yeah, there you go. Never pushing back against the normies, like you said. No, hey, the government said it was Lee Harvey Oswald. Who am I to question the government?
No, it's not even that. I mean, like, I looked into the whole thing.
Yeah, I know.
And it looks like Oswald was a fucking commie.
Yeah, he was just some fucking. He just was a fucking dead shot, like fucking.
I think his fucking shot went fucking awry, is what I think.
Yeah,
I think he was a pretty good
crazy
shot.
ass ricochet happened.
Well, he was a fucking Marine sniper, you know that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he was a pretty good shot.
Fucking
but yeah, I think that his shot went fucking awry, is what I think. He fucking shot, and then he fucking hit the guy the first time, and then he fucking shot again, and then it bounced all the fuck around every which way.
It
and
exploded
fucking
his
fucked
fucking
up the whole
head.
area. Yeah, I mean, I actually saw the vehicle, by the way. It's in the car show in Las Vegas.
So still got all the blood stains on it.
No, it's cleaned up. It's
They
pristine.
should have left them on. It's more historical.
I know, right?
But you know, as a lover of history, I think the blood stains should have remained. I mean, it would be a stronger image, you know, the car and stuff. But
it's super valuable car, man. That car is
I can imagine.
Basically invaluable.
But the point is, if even if I advocate for like schizo-spectrum peeps, I can never advocate for like, oh, hey guys, you know, we have to be safe from mean words and stuff, and let's protect you. It's just like, nah, I can't, man. Maybe it's my own zoidy shit or whatever on top of the fact that, but like, I'm just like, nah, man. Like, you guys gotta learn to just be like, fuck you, I don't care, or just ignore it, block. Who cares? Like, or leave it on, laugh at it, make it funny, because that's what I do. Somebody like tells me, like jumps on here, tells me like I'm some big nose fucking schizo that fucking is making up a bunch of bullshit and I'm like retarded or something. I would just be like, I would probably crack up, honestly. I'd probably start laughing. That shit would be really funny. Because I'd be like, you're so mad, bro. Like, why are you so mad at me? I'm just some guy.
I mean, that doesn't happen. Does that happen?
Huh? Well, I mean, they don't say that. They don't mention my nose. But, yeah, but if they did, it'd be really funny. Like, there's been times where people come after me in, like, a comment or something. I don't delete it. I don't go like, oh, report. Like, I just go fucking hilarious. Like, you give...
Yeah.
It's hilarious that someone would give this much of a shit that they would leave, like, a big old comment. Like, that's what's funny. I'm like...
Yeah.
All right, guy. Like, I don't think I've ever sat down and left, like, a big-ass comment on, like, a YouTube video. Like, just breaking down how upset I am with what you said. Like, I've never done that. I've never cared enough to do
may have done that.
I did it, I think, one time, and it wasn't even a long one. And the last time I remember is that Todd Grande guy, when he put out that fucking irresponsible shit about schizoids and psychopathy. Fucking
dude,
idiot.
There's a guy that put out some irresponsible shit just yesterday, and I was upset. I left several comments on video. I don't know if you know about psych, but he's big on the YouTubes. He's big in the algorithm.
Yeah.
He usually talks
you,
about. Like,
you always have these. Is that what you were saying earlier? Who was it? Where was it? Oh yeah, Khalil Withers qualifiers. Yeah, it's so. I think that's what. Were you referring to how like anytime Withers talks about anything or anyone, he has to like mention their status? Like it's like a compulsive, dude. That you do it. It's pretty funny.
Well, I mean, I'll just bring it up to like.
No, but like you won't just like you could have just said, "Oh, there's a guy in his channel."
Yeah,
that's it.
Right. Well, I mean, instead of saying
but like you're like, "Oh, this guy's really big." So the algorithm. Oh man, he's got like 3 million viewers.
Well, that's why you might have seen him, because otherwise you probably
no. But I just like I don't like I'm not trying to give you shit. It's just funny because like I don't give a fuck about any of that, right? Like,
well, I mean, it's irresponsible. You know, he put this out to at least like 500,000 viewers, I think. So, I mean, it was stupendously irresponsible, I thought.
Oh no! Oh, that's what you mean.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you say okay. In this case, okay, I can see it makes sense. But you kind of do that for everything. So it's, you know what I mean? Like big swinging dicks. Yeah. Oh, they're real important. This guy's real important in this world. And
well, that was the only reason why it was important that I even did this thing, right? And came up with the quality metrics and handheld them, because I was like, why was it that they didn't figure it out themselves? And it's
they
like,
want to.
oh, maybe they did, but they were fucking obscure.
They probably saw your post and they were like, "Fucking idiot."
Exactly.
You fucking let the.
I'm not even sure if that's the case or not.
Drop the goddamn Happy Meal on the floor.
Right.
Fucking
they're just like they're just like, I should fucking assassinate this dumb fucker.
This fucking idiot. He's telling our trade secrets.
Exactly. Killing our fucking gravy train is what it is. Not a
shit in my hamburger.
Gravy
fucking
train.
Guy.
Because think about this, Angst. Like, we were the second best place to work in all the federal government by the rankings, the official rankings. We were the second best place to work. Now we're not even on the fucking rankings. We're not even fucking like top 100 or whatever. So.
Fucked it all up with us. Some men just want to watch it all burn. I think you're one of them.
Watch it all burn.
I just said you're one of them now, Willers. You just want to watch it all burn.
I feel bad. I'm just like, light a match and fucking walk away.
Yeah, no. What you did was you did this thing where I'm trying to figure a situation where like everyone's like like I don't know how to put it. It's like everyone's trying to keep it quiet in a room for some reason.
Yeah.
And then you just walk in. You're like, "Hey, everybody, what's happening? What's going on? Hey, whoa!"
I've literally done that shit.
What are you guys hiding from?
Exactly. Yeah.
There's nothing bad here.
Well, I mean, and it's funny you mentioned that, because that's literally what it is. It's like, why are you guys hiding all this? Is that really what it boils down to? Is public perception is what they're hiding. And
it's plain dumb. They're plain dumb.
exactly.
It's part of the
Right.
game. They knew they were playing
Yeah.
dumb.
It's just you make it so complicated that nobody else can naysay
Oh
you.
yeah, that's like half of the shit
Protect
in
your
a bunch
turf.
of professions, dude. It's like
Keeps your
the
fucking monopoly.
yeah, I mean yeah, it's the same thing in academia too. Academia does
Yeah.
that's what jargon's for.
Yep.
Like honestly, dude, there's so many fucking words in
Yeah.
even in history and in historical theory especially. There's so many
Yeah.
phrases and so many different like um types of academia that are just
Yeah.
like redundant. It's just like, oh, you just need a word for it. Like,
Yeah.
okay, I guess. And then sometimes like certain words trend within academia, and so then people start using them more. And other ones like get forgotten, and then so the jargon starts like the jargon will actually change over time,
Yeah.
significantly.
The funny thing about fucking academia like that you're mentioning, like a lot of these kind of jargons and all this, and protection of their little thief, their little monopoly on whatever the fuck. Is that people forget where academia, quote unquote, even came from. Like, why does academia even fucking exist? And a lot of people don't even know, like, why academia even exists. Like, it got started from the aristocracy, and then big money would provide grants or would provide fucking, a chair or whatever the fuck. Just give a big chunk of money to the university to start a department or whatever. And so people forget that all this shit just like got started that way, and then now
it's still that.
money, partially, but it's still to a large extent. A lot of these academic fields are just like it's almost like a fucking private vanity project.
It's just R&D. Like that's all it is. It's R&D, outsourcing. That's it. Like,
I'm not sure what you mean about that.
Research and development. That's it.
Well, I know R&D, but I mean, like,
it's just like corporate
history
R&D. Like it's
R&D?
like no, like because the grants and the money that's being put into it's just corporation related R&D, and they use the universities for R&D. That's it. Like that's who gets the grants. Oh, we need the big break. Like I feel like universities are just an easy way to like gather big brains in one room and then use them. That's all it is. It's just like it's a place. It's like a farm. It's like it's like a farm full of just all these big brains, and then the corpos are just like, hey, we need to figure out how to justify this,
right?
Or we need to figure out how to make this legal or okay. We need to figure out a way to make this more expensive or easier to monopolize, and so then they'll just go hit up the universities for information.
Yeah.
Throw in some Latin for status. Ooh, yeah, of course.
You damn right, man.
Like
cab drivers can't understand what the fuck's happening.
That's why I never liked. I'm not a huge fan of, and I get why it's kind of stuck because been using it for so long. But like Latin scientific names for like various species and stuff, it's like, man. You could have said that shit in English. You could have said that shit in English. Like,
I hear what you're saying, but that's partially historical precedent too.
Yeah, it's just like I think it's like I think it's mostly archaic. Like,
well, it was the language of the guys that got the field started back in the day. They were using that, so this kind of stuff.
Yeah, but why keep doing that? It's weird. I don't get it.
I hear you.
That's not helpful. Like, I mean, like. I just don't see the point of having to memorize an entirely new set of words for the same things we already have words for.
Yeah,
like, why is like instead of saying raven or crow, you have to say fucking what is it, corvus?
Some fucking craziness.
It's fucking Corvus corax.
Mm-hmm.
It's a common raven. You can just say a raven, a common raven. Corvus corax. Like why? Like it sounds cool, maybe. I don't know. I'm sure there's an argument for it. I think if you break it down though, it falls apart.
Well, I mean, I think like most of their argument for the speciation language, I think, is because there's just so many different species and shit, so they want to break it down more.
Yeah, but there's
And-
already an English name for each one of them.
Well, I mean, you say that, but a lot of those species are so fucking obscure that there actually isn't. I think. I mean, like a lot of those things are fucking super obscure.
Okay, well then just give it like a name. Just give it a name. Like, oh, it's a super rare raven. What are its features? Oh, it has like I don't know, a fucking a beak that's white. It's like, okay, it's the
Right, so then
white
you call
beak
it
raven.
a white beak raven or whatever. Yeah, I know.
The
Yeah,
fuck?
but then there's fucking 12 different kinds of white beak raven, so you gotta further break it down. So eventually they're just like, fuck it, just use Latin.
Use Latin.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't make it more. It doesn't make it easier. I doubt it makes it easier to categorize everything.
I mean,
Or you could just call it White Beak Ravens A, White Beak Raven B, White Beak
I know
Raven
what you
C.
mean. I know what you're talking about. Yeah, I know.
Why does it have to be Corvus Corax blah blah blah?
Yeah, I hear
Like
you,
it has
man.
to. Now you just made it 3 fucking words. Why? I don't. That's that kind of silly shit that makes me laugh.
Ask people doing that shit. I don't remember. Yeah.
It just feels like a combination of tradition and we don't want to. It's the way we've always done it.
Yeah, it is a little bit of that. A little bit of tradition.
I
in
don't
there.
understand that shit. That shit's fucking goofy. Shit's goofy.
We can't fucking question the normies, Angst. We can't question the normies.
How many? I want to know how many types of ravens there are. Because I like
The
ravens.
normies just want to get that bread, bruh. They just want to get that bread.
Ravens. Types. Let me see. I'm looking it up now. How many species? Okay, here we go. It's just so dumb. There's already an English name. White-necked raven. It's from eastern and southern Africa. Corvus albicollis. Common raven. Corvus corax. Australian raven. You could just call it Australian raven. But no, it's a Corvus coronitis. Chihuahuan raven from Mexico and sometimes the U.S. Corvus cryptolucis. Little raven from Australia. Corvus mellori. Yeah, but it isn't anymore. So who cares? I get why it was but we don't. It's not anymore. So who gives a shit? Let it go. Let that shit go. Fan-tailed raven, Corvus ripidurus. Brown-necked raven, Corvus ruficollis. And forest raven, Corvus tasmanicus. How is that helpful? Maybe I'm stupid. Oh, I just don't get it. You just don't get it. It's so important. Maybe I'm an idiot. I don't know what I'm talking about. But somebody tell me why it's vital that we keep it this way. Why is the pied raven, which is now extinct, need the name Corvus corax varius morpha leucophaeus?
That's its fancy name, Angst. What are you talking about, man?
Why does it need this fucking name?
It's just for fancy people, man.
You say pied raven, and then other people say pied raven in their language, and then that's it. And you communicate like that, and you translate from language to language. If there's like 4 different kinds of pied ravens, just say pied raven 1, pied raven 2, pied raven 3. I don't know. And then just memorize which number is associated to what type and the specifics if you want to do it so badly. I don't know. Fucking, it's just silly shit like that drives me. But all people used to know Latin.
What about that? That was all the learned people used to know Latin.
No, yeah, I don't know, but I just, used to. It's anachronistic to me. Like, it's just sorry, not anachronistic, archaic. It's just archaic. It doesn't help anything. It doesn't speed anything up. It's just like this weird thing about prestige and having like special words and language that only people in the know would know, right? And you don't want like the average commoner to you know, we need our own goofy fucking special super names for our special club. Ugh. Yeah, it's not even part of the curriculum. Yeah, exactly. It's not even part of the normal curriculum. It used to be, maybe. But even then, even when it was part of the curriculum, in a lot of Western, they weren't fucking using it. Except for shit like this. You know, they force you to take Latin. You'd learn a few phrases and then you fucking forgot about that shit. That was like 90% of people that took Latin. Like when it was like a part of your public school curriculum or whatever, and wherever you live. It's so dumb, dude. But I'm crazy for thinking that's dumb. Like, you know how I'm talking.
That's not crazy, Angst. A lot of people think that. They've talked about that on shows before. A lot of people think that. That's
but yeah, the crazy part is they keep just doing it anyway. That's the crazy part. They just keep on doing it.
They're ordered from us commoners. What the fuck, Angst?
Crazy. Stupid bananas. Garbage can bullshit. All right. Well, completely derailed. Hope everyone enjoyed the beginning of the stream before I got lost in my own meanderings. But in any case, if you like the stream, or at least part of it, please support me on Patreon. Support me on PayPal. Best way you can do it. I'm looking, once the payout comes for this, because somebody was nice enough to drop like $50 on a super chat, so I'm gonna get the payout on the YouTube because it hit $100. So I'm gonna get that payout. As soon as I get it, I am demonetizing this entire channel.
Wait, what?
Yes.
On the YouTubes or on the...
On YouTube.
What now?
Yeah, I'm demonetizing my channel. Stupid.
You mean it just cancels the ads? Is that all you're talking about?
Yeah, it cancels the ads. I can't get super chats anymore. None of that shit. Fucking dumb. I don't want any of that shit. I don't want to deal with any of it. And they don't pay well. Twitch pays better, but it's not really making me... I mean, the subscriptions are cool because at least I can give people little icons or something, I guess. I don't know.
Right.
But and then, yeah, I think I'm going to just take I might take the ad revenue off of... I'll keep the subscriptions if people want to support like that, but I think I'm going to take the ad revenue off of the Twitch too. I just don't... I don't like it. I don't like it. I'd rather just get support from people that want that to do that. I don't need people watching ads. That's why everyone fucking came over to YouTube that like was on Twitch before, because here they could ad block. Twitch doesn't let you ad block. So that's probably why.
Right.
It's just so weird. Like I imagine like I'm talking about something, about how like annoying some aspect of society or something, it just kind of personally bugs, and then like a commercial come on about like you know, some bullshit that I would probably be making fun of and be like, what the fuck is this? Like, don't buy this shit. Like, it's probably what I would be saying. Oh man, I wonder if you can get paid to do anti-ads. Oh, but for competitors, that would be helping them. You're like, yeah, we'll pay you to slander this product. That's pretty funny. But all right, guys, thanks a lot. I'm gonna be somewhere on the server as usual, probably in the usual spot at the bottom there in the Angst like social media. I don't know what I'm gonna do today, but I'm just tired and I just want to chill. All right, guys, thanks as usual, and just remember to watch any videos you haven't watched, because there's like, man, I don't know what the fuck happened. Algo's killing me or whatever recently. But watch some of the videos if you haven't seen them that are kind of more recent. I had something else planned on going up, but then it didn't really pan out. But hopefully it will. So many people just cancel about and stuff, and it sucks. It's hard. I know they're busy.
Talking about guests?
Yeah. It's just like it's tough to. It's always like a dice roll, like whether somebody's gonna like this, if that they say they're gonna be interested, and then something will just happen where they'll just like, it'll just like putter out, and then just,
I mean, life stuff.
I'm just like, okay. But in any case, all right. Oh, I am I am okay. No, I don't know. They didn't say. They might not have wanted me to say anything about it because I haven't asked. So never mind. Okay then. Later, guys. And as usual, when day is dark.